Hello and welcome to New York Session Livestream. First of all, we will look at what we are anticipating now in gold. In gold, the trend was bullish. I was initially looking for sells, but those sells didn't represented themselves. So we didn't execute a position. And now we are looking at we have previous six H4 candles that were bullish, and now we will look at if the current hourly candle creates some sort of support and continue pushing up later on. And if I look at 4-hour time frame, I can see that we have created some sort of support in here. So I am only looking for buys now in I am only looking for buys in gold. I have changed my bias. I will only looking for buys in gold. And if I look at GBP JPY, I was anticipating we may create some sort of support in here for prices to keep pushing up to retest this highs. But if I look at, we have dropped a lot, and yeah, I wasn't anticipating that we will drop this much. But now we need to look at how we can execute a trade. And H4 candle has flipped all the way bearish, and looking at gold, there are no buys for now. I was anticipating some sort of buys for prices to keep pushing up later on, but looking at price action, it seems like there are no buys, so we need to wait for candles to close. In 4 minutes these candles will close. All right, yeah, you see the candles have flipped bullish. No, 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 no. We were looking for what happened in here. Actually, I was looking for buys. That's why I placed this a long bias, but we didn't get the chance to execute these buys. It is 20 pips of move, and we need to wait now. wait for current M30 candle to close. I was anticipating this move, but I was anticipating that we may wick down a little bit to 1767 area. I will execute buy position right in here for take profit of 40 pips, but we got rejected from 1768 area, but I was anticipating this move up long bias. That's why I placed my bias right in here. I get confused a little bit for cells, but those cells were invalid. Now what do we need to know? So the whole idea is what we will do now. Because if we even execute buys in here, there are some areas of rejection at 1773 also. So we will shift our zone to 1773 right in here. This is also a problematic area. And I was anticipating this thing, but I didn't get the chance to execute on this. But maybe later on we can get some good trade. And if I look at GBP JPY, I was anticipating buys. Those buys too played out earlier in London session, but I didn't hold those trades for long, else our take profit right in here around 33 pips will be hit, but we didn't let those trades run, and it's totally okay. We can get some good trades later on. We need to look at how this M30 candle will close, current M30 will candle close. So we need to wait. This was I literally, let me tell you what I was anticipating in gold. In gold, I was anticipating that once these candles were bullish on current M hourly candle, I was anticipating that we may create drop this wick till 1767 area, where we will form some sort of support in smaller time frame, and we may continue pushing up to fill this wick of around 40-50 pips later on. And that idea is still valid. And we just need to form some sort of support in here in M5 time frame, and then we I will execute buys right in here below above 1767 in an anticipation that we are continue pushing up, but we need to wait also. And if I look at GBP JPY, this candle moved up in first 1 minute of current 30-minute candle. Alright, we need to write down what we are anticipating in GBP JPY. Alright, I am anticipating buys in GBP JPY. I am anticipating buys. But the whole idea is I am also waiting to see how current hourly and how M30 candle will close. So we need to wait a little bit. And in gold, we need to form some sort of support in this area between 1768 and 1767, and then I will execute buys. I am anticipating buys in gold. I am also anticipating buys in GBP JPY, but at the same time I also want better execution. I will not execute a position at this point. I will rather wait for better price action. We want some at least one M5 candle closing in this area to execute buys. At least one, at least a small support in M5 time frame. And in GBP JPY we are also waiting. There is very high probability we will get some good buys in GBP JPY, but we need to wait for now. Alright, M5 candle has closed back inside the range. It is 27 pips of stop loss, but at this point I will not execute. I am waiting for better confirmation. For now we are just waiting. There is volume in markets, which is very good thing. Even if I executed a buy somewhere around here, it will be in like 23, 24 pips of profit. But we also want to keep ourselves safe. The reason being we want to execute on something that we can anticipate and something that we can See, there isn't like oh, candles are moving down, let's execute a buy on this wick. Even we don't have support on M5 time frame. So we are waiting for current 15-minute candle to close in 8 minutes. I am looking for buys in GBP JPY and buys in gold. We need to wait a little bit. Yeah, right in here, if we create some sort of support in this area, I am willing to buy gold. And I will say we need to wait both in gold and in GBP JPY. The reason being we want some good execution. We are just waiting for candles to close. In 3 minutes, 15-minute candle is closing. All right, M15 candle has closed. It has closed a bullish candle in GBP All right. This hourly candle is around 31 pips big. We want lower wick on current M15 candle to execute buys. So we need to wait. And in gold, we need to wait for one more 15-minute candle. If this hourly candle closes a bearish candle right at this support, then our bias will change. We will be looking for sells then. But waiting for candles to close is important in here. The whole issue is if we look at GBP the 4-hour candle is closing in 13 minutes. And I believe that there is very high probability on next 4-hour candle that we are pushing up, and my whole bias is buys. And yeah, for that we need to wait just a little bit more, waiting 15 minutes or more waiting. The close of this hourly candle is important in gold and in GBP. We are waiting in gold and in GBP JPY. We wanted to see how current candles will close. If H4 candle closes like this, we have clean move to fill around 40 pips on next H4 candle, which is opening in 7 minutes. So for that we need to wait. Waiting for candles to close. We need to wait for 2 more minutes. Just 2 minutes more. Alright, H1 candles has closed. This is what on the right, and 4 hour candles has also closed. The current 4 hour close below the body of below the open of previous 4 hour candle close, and just by looking at it I can see that we have an uptrend. There is high probability we will create some sort of support in here and continue pushing up till 162.800. So my bias for gold remains same. I am in bias. Sorry, for GBP JPY remains the same. I am in bias. And for gold, if I look at gold, first of all, we will look at 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame, we have this wick left to fill, almost 51 pips away. So I I am more willing to execute on gold buys for potential take profit of 45 pips. If we look yesterday, there was also a wick left to be filled, almost 64 pips, and the next H4 candle filled that wick. I am anticipating the same today. There is wick left to be filled, almost 54 pips away. So but we need to look at how we will execute an entry just by looking at smaller time frame. We are looking for buys in gold. First of all, we will sort out how we will execute buy position in gold. All right, this is a 1 hour candle. It will close in 58 minutes. It has two M30 candles and four M15 candles. All right. For that, for buys, we want at least one bullish M30 candle to close. One bullish. We want one bullish M30 candle for buys. Once that M30 candle closes bullish, we will get to execute buy position. I am anticipating that current hourly candle will flip bullish and fill this range almost 40 pips away. And if I look at M15, we need to wait, I will say, for 15 to 30 more minutes. And if I look at GBP I am looking to see that we will go in buys to fill this range almost 163.100 area. But candles at this point are bearish. H1 is also bearish. M30, we have one M30 candle closing bullish. It is my bias that current 1 hour candle will flip bullish and fill this range. So how we will execute this trade in smaller time frame? We need to wait a little bit. For that we need to wait a little bit. For buyers in GBP JPY, break above 162.700 area, place a stop loss of 32 pips, and we are good. This is what I am anticipating in GBP JPY. So we will right in here. I am anticipating that once we break above this area, execute buys, place stop loss right in here, and this will be our potential take profit. 21 pips stop and 41 pips of take profit. This is what I am anticipating in GBP JPY. Even if 30-minute candle broke below the low of previous 30-minute candle, we are not executing sells. The reason being, first of all, our bias is buys. Just by looking at 4-hour time frame, I draw that bias that we are going in buys. Second, we will approach this area which is a potential rejection, almost 14 pips of potential rejection. There is no trade execution in this range. You know what? I will execute this buy position in gold. So yeah, this is what I have placed on my demo account. On my demo account, I will also place this buys, but I don't know if we will wick below in this 23 pips of range. So waiting makes sense at this point. So the idea is pretty clear. Buys above this wick, this previous M30 wick, and we are going up. And and we are waiting, and in gold, all right, we have dropped, and I am anticipating buys in gold. Yeah, man, this is amazing. If we get to execute some sort of buys at 1767, we have this 51 pips of range left to be filled. It is amazing that we have dropped, but now we need to look at how we will get to execute buys. So for that, we need to wait. I am bullish both in gold and in GBP I am waiting for current 15-minute candle to close in GBP I will execute position above 162.700 above current candle high. Place a stop loss wherever we will pick on current 15-minute candle, but we need to wait a little bit. And gold, I am also anticipating buys. We are also waiting in gold. We will look to see how we can execute buys. If let's suppose price starts to break above current M15 candle high and then we execute buys, then our stop loss will be around 53 pips for potential take profit of 43 pips, which doesn't make sense at all. So we need to wait in gold and in GBP JPY. We will also execute trade once this M5 candle closes. Alright, M15 candle has closed. This is what we were waiting for. And now in GBP JPY, I have placed my buy stop right in here. I will execute. My stop loss will be around 23 pips. And yeah, 23 pip stop in GBP JPY, and I am willing to execute a position. And look at gold. There is very high probability that we are moving up if we respect this low. So you know what, I will execute gold buys based on M5 time frame by placing a buy stop loss below these wicks, 20 to 30 pips, and I am willing to give it a shot. Just a little bit of more waiting in gold. In GBP JPY, we are ready to execute buy once we break above current M30 candle high, and by placing a stop loss of 23 pips, there is probability we will fill this range 54 pips away. Other than that, we will wait. In gold, we are waiting for more confirmations for buys. The reason for buys is that we have reached a lot in this area. We have strong support zone if we look at left, and we have this range to fill almost 50 pips away. There is probability that on current H4 candle it will flip bullish and fill this range. So that's why I am anticipating buys, and we will look to see if we get those buys that I am anticipating. GBP JPY trade is ready. In gold, we are not ready yet. We need to wait. Now we need to wait. In here there is nothing. In GBP JPY I have placed buy stop right in here. Other than that, we will look at gold. I am anticipating buys in gold, but at the same time I also want better execution, so I am waiting for better execution. Now we will just wait. There is nothing. We are anticipating buys in gold and in GBP JPY. Let's see if we will get to execute those buys. I guess no, we will not get a chance to execute on those buys in gold, but that's okay. We are okay if our analysis works. So alright, here if I look at, we have H1 wick to fill, which is around 40 pips away, and we also have H4 wick to fill, which is around 50 pips. So the whole idea is, if we look at M30, just by looking at M30 we can anticipate that first prices will fill that hourly candle wick, so they might go in sells, and later on once that wick is filled we may get to execute buy position for H4 wick fill. Alright, GBP JPY is dropping, it has broken below these lows and it is in this very dirty range of 10 pips. Even if you are looking at sells, I will say just stay away from these cells at least for now. These are very dirty cells. We only have a 10 pips range, which is not enough. M30 candle is about to close in 2 minutes. The trade that we took on an anticipation that we are moving up in 10 pips profit, but it will be short-lived trade. The reason being we have this M30 candle wick left to be filled. You know what? I will execute sells for this big fill almost 38 pips away. But how we will execute those sells, I will let you know when I execute them. Alright, that demo trade is in 10-12 pips profit, but we are not looking at that. I will rather close this up. Think IMT candle has closed. M30 candle has closed below this previous M30 candle low, but it's all right. I am looking for buys once we break above current M30 candle high, or I will also execute small buys once we break above current M15 candle high, previous M15 candle high. So these are my two buys for GBP JPY, and in gold I am looking for sells. I am looking for sells. GBP JPY is going down, let it go down. We are not in a rush. We will execute a position when prices come to us. We will not chase prices. And in gold we need to wait now. Our bias is sells to fill this wick, which is around 50 pips away. For those cells I will place my sell stops right in here. Yeah, it is very good thing that if he again approaches this area, I will execute market order for cells. And yeah, we are preparing ourselves for short to potentially fill this wick around 40 pips away. And in GBP JPY, we are anticipating buys. If we broke above these areas, we will execute buys. Just wait a little bit in gold. Alright, I have executed that sell position. My stop loss will be around 25 pips. And I am anticipating that we are moving down to fill this wick. It is a very, I will say, risky entry. I will not urge anyone to take this trade. Alright, in GBP JPY we have broken through that problematic area. And now these buy stop ideas in GBP JPY is invalid. We will remove these buy stops, and we will just acknowledge that we have missed the move for day in GBP JPY. We will only look at gold today. Gold now, there is very high probability that we will fill this wick, which is around 40-50 pips away. And I have executed a small position. I will re-add back my risk once I get some more confirmations. Alright, we are negative around 4-5 pips on this trade, and it was expected. The reason being we executed this trade early. We executed with small small lot, and I was anticipating that this position will run into drawdown. Now we are just waiting for M15 candles to close. The position is in 16-17 pips drawdown, and it seems like we will hit our stop loss on this position, and we will re-add back risk later on. So if we look at H4 time frame, it seems like we are filling that wick up to the upside first, and our whole bias for buys in this area was very right for that wick fill, which is around 24 pips away. There is very high probability that we will fill that wick first, and then we will fill this lower wick. But we didn't took advantage of the position. We didn't took advantage that we are going in buys in gold, that we will fill this week 4 hour week around 49 pips. We didn't took advantage of that, but our whole analysis was correct. In future maybe we get to take advantage of that. Alright, we need to wait a little bit more. It seems like we have created this high, but we are waiting for current M5 candle to close. There is lot of volume in gold at present. Just wait for this M5 candle to close, and we will add back all our risk. And yeah, if it closes bearish, of course, And in 4 minutes M15 candle is also closing. Little bit of more waiting in gold in an anticipation that we are moving down. We are waiting for M5 candle to close to re-add back our risk. And if it closes bearish like this, I will execute my remaining risk and with my eyes closed. Simple as that. Oh no, 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 please wait. Let me re-add back my risk. Around 21 pips. And in GBP JPY, I was also anticipating buys, but those buys didn't present it itself. And I think so as we have broken through this important zone, I do think so at this point that we are moving down now. So I will not execute anything in GBP JPY. I am only looking at gold. I am waiting for these candles to close. The whole idea is if the M5 candle closes somewhere in here, I would have executed sells. But since we already have one position at this point, so I will wait. Alright, M5 candle has now closed. I have re-added my entire position in here. If it goes against me, it goes against me. Other than that, I am anticipating sells till 1763 in this trade, but we will look to see where prices can go. And oh no, my third position also got activated. I wanted to close that position, this one. We are up around 7 US dollars. At this point, I will just close it and call it a day. So it was impressive day today. Took just 3 trades. Still there is very high probability that we are pushing down in this area 1764, but I but I basically take my profits. At this point, we will just call it a New York session. We took three trades today. Sorry, two trades. First two execution in GBP JPY was buys that went as per our analysis like 40 pips, but I closed my trades early. And in the gold, later on, I executed position in an anticipation that we are moving down, but I closed these positions way too early. One position was closed at 20 pips, second position